This video, I'm going to show you my PowerGrades, the library that I've built, how I use it to speed up my workflow, get consistent results every single time. First thing I do is I go into my film looks and I'll decide which film look, which base I want to start off for the grade. So generally I'm using the Kodak 2383 D60, and basically this will be my starting point for most of the grades. So you'll notice we've also got three different options for the film look. We've got D55, D60 and D65. So D55, these are just different white points for the look. D55 is going to be warmer than D65. D60 is more of a neutral, and then D65 is cooler. And you can see straight away that it's populated with the color space transforms in, color space transform out, and then the film look on the end. I've also got these basic corrections and then my look development in the center here as well. So this is a complete node tree. It's basically set up and ready to go for you to be able to start tweaking the film look and adjusting it to how you want it. Say you've got this shot here, right? And you want a bit more of an intense look, a bit more of an intense film look. You'll just go down here to the key output and you can actually increase or decrease the film look, adjust it to how you want it to look. So if I want to make that more intense, I'll just increase it to the right. And you can see as I do that, the look that's getting applied is getting stronger. So if I just toggle that on and off before and after, you can see how much of a difference that film look is actually created on the image. Now this is a compound node. Our film look is actually built inside this one. This is just to give us a consistent starting base, so then we can build upon that look and develop our own consistent look on top of it. That's why I've set up the node tree as like this: the exposure, the white balance, and the contrast here. These are our basic correction nodes. These are the first things you'll do to an image to get it into the starting point. Because we've already applied the film look, we can actually start correcting those basic adjustments with the film look applied, so we can start to see exactly how the end image is going to look. It looks a little bit underexposed, so I'll just jump into the exposure tab, pull up my gallery and head over to my node trees. Now I've got these all built out. So I've got gain, gamma, lift, I've got highlight, roll off, I've got detail. I've got all these PowerGrades built and ready to drag and drop into the node structure here. So let's say this one, for example, I want to increase the gain. I'll just grab this gain 1.20, drag it on top, and you can see right away that we've made that gain adjustment straight onto that node. Now if I toggle that on and off, you can see that it's actually brightened up the whole image, and now it's in a better place for an exposure. We still haven't added contrast, so don't worry about that. We'll come to the contrast section in a second, but for now we just want to brighten up the shot, get more light into the image, and we can actually see what's going on in the scene. And next we have our white balance. So white balance for this shot, I'm actually pretty happy with it. It looks pretty good, but you know, if you did want to warm it up or cool it down, I've got this node set to a linear color space. So you can actually go in and make adjustments to the white balance, which is going to be similar to how you adjust white balance in camera. So it's giving you more of a realistic white balance adjustment versus going in and changing the temp or the tint sliders. So let's say this one, for example, we just want to add a bit more warmth. We'll just add a bit more red in there, pull down those blues, and maybe just pull down those greens as well. So that'll add warmth. So you're taking out blue and you're adding red and green, which is more of a yellow red, more of a yellow orange. So before and after. So you can see we've warmed up the scene nicely there. Now let's go back to the gallery, and we want to get a bit of contrast into this shot. So keep in mind that we're working inside DaVinci Wide Gamut here. So any adjustments we make in between the CST in and the CST out are inside DaVinci Wide Gamut. So that's the color space that we're working in. That's our working color space. So that's why I've created this contrast inside DaVinci Wide Gamut. So what I've done here, let's just drag it on to the contrast node. And what I've actually done here, I've set the pivot to 0.336. That's why it says DaVinci Wide Gamut contrast, because the 0.336 is the middle gray point for the DaVinci Wide Gamut color space. So I've already pre-populated for you. I've already added contrast, and you can see if I toggle that on and off, we've got contrast coming into the scene. Now I've also got the curves here. The curves, I've actually locked down the middle gray point, and if I want to make contrast adjustments on this one, I can pull down here on the shadows, I can push up here on the highlights, and that's all working around that middle gray point, that DaVinci Wide Gamut middle gray point. So let's just take a quick look. Now that I've pulled that up, I'm just going to pull down the contrast here a little bit because I've added a bit too much. Now, if I just toggle on before and after, you can see how much of a difference that's made. That was our look before we made any basic corrections with just that film look applied. Now that we've dragged in those PowerGrades, we've got a nice clean image. It's bright, it's got contrast, it's got saturation. Let's head over to this tab. Now I've got saturation here, right? Now I've already created this for you, and I've got an HSV saturation. So I'll just drag that on. What I've done here is I've actually changed the color space of this node to HSV. So what that means is it's actually going to remap the red channel to hue, the green channel to saturation, and the blue channel to value, so brightness. Now I've already applied some saturation, so if we just go to the green channel, we can actually pull that down a bit. And what this means, because we've changed that node to HSV, any saturation changes are going to be done individually and separately from any luminance changes. So you get a much more clean response on the saturation. You can see you don't need to add too much, but basically if I just toggle that on and off, you're just getting a nice bit more on those greens, on those yellows. Now we've got three more sections here. So we've got HSL, split toning, and vignette. Vignette's already applied. It's just already built in. However, if you want to go in and adjust that, you can move it around. Let's say you want a stronger vignette on the side, you can just go in here, pull down on the shadows, and you can see we're getting a much nicer response. Split toning, I've actually applied the split toning effect inside DaVinci. I think this one might be a studio feature. So if you're not paying for DaVinci Resolve and that's not working, just delete it. And what you can do, you go back to the power library. If you go down to split tone here, I've actually created a split tone power grid for you. So you can just drag and drop that. And what that's going to do is it's going to cool down the shadows and it's going to warm up the highlights. So you can see just from that one adjustment, we're getting more of a split between the shadows and the highlights in terms of the color. So we're getting cooler shadows and warmer highlights. And then this one, we've got HSL. So I've made these adjustments in the curves. So you can see we've got our hue versus hue. So if I push up the oranges, it's going to push it to more of a red. If I pull it down, it's going to push it more yellow. So you can see now we're getting a totally different look on the image versus this. When you are pushing your hue and your saturation and your luminance in the curves, just be mindful that small changes can actually do a lot for the image. If you do want to push the hue, do it in a very subtle way. So you don't push it out and make it, that's going to look way too unnatural. Everything's way too green there. Everything's going to be way too pink. So you can start to see how it's unnatural looking. Dial it in nice and gently, and always keep an eye on your vector scope to see where those hues are getting pushed to as you're adjusting in the curves here. So you can see how using the PowerGrade library, how quickly and how efficiently you can start to color grade. So because it's a drag and drop system, you can easily just drag that look on, drag in a couple of nodes, change it up, and really start to dial in your own look on during the color grade. So if you click the link in the description of the video, you'll get access to this PowerGrade library. Now, for the first 24 hours, I'm going to have this for free. And if you're watching this in the first 24 hours and you're subscribed and you've got the bell on, you'll get the notification. So that's a reward for, being subscribed and having the bell. You'll get this product completely free. Now, if you don't get it after 24 hours, don't worry, it'll still be available in Gumroad. So you can head over there, you can download it. It's still really good value. It's going to save you so much time during your color grade, and it'll allow you to get a much more consistent workflow going, especially if you're just starting out in DaVinci Resolve. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.